What's going on, everybody? You're listening to another episode of the Tall and Short of It podcast. We're recording on Wednesday, January 27th, 2021, coming at you in a new year. I'm your host, Justin.
Aaron, welcome back, everyone. It's good to see you all. Good to
How we
see you, my
feeling?
friend, as well.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. How we doing this evening?
Doing good. I've had a busy-ish week. I think I said maybe last week. I forget if I mentioned it, but I'm covering at one of our properties this week while the property manager's out sick. So I've been kind of tossed into the middle of stuff that I haven't done in a little while, which is,
Yep.
I mean, it's a good refresher, but it's time consuming just because I don't remember how to do everything as quickly. So it
Right.
takes me a little time to refresh and then get stuff done. But overall, not too bad.
Nice. Now, were you able to spend any time on the real estate this week?
I have not been able to, unfortunately. I did find some different programs last week, but so far this week I have not really made moves on it. So still figuring out what exactly I need to do or want to do with it. And I'm also waiting for some responses from the PA board of or like there's a real estate council that has information and their website sucks. So I can't find anything on it. So
Ooh.
I'm waiting for email responses.
Right. Damn, that's rough. We kind of ran into a similar thing with the COVID regulations for massage therapy.
I
The
believe it.
PA board had
It's
little
terrible.
to no information as to what we were supposed to be doing. Yeah, you got it, man. It was pretty rough. So
Well,
yeah, I know exactly how you're feeling.
yeah, and on that, even at the beginning of the pandemic with COVID, I had signed up for this email list that was supposed to like update, or it was a text message thing that was supposed to update me on any changes to like local regulations. Can you go out if there's this or that? And it would always just send me the same link to a website, and I would click the link, and it would have nothing on it. I'm like,
Damn.
they're like, oh, new news regarding COVID in Pennsylvania. And I'd click the thing, and it would just be like, there's nothing on the site.
Right. Just like the same numbers that there were the day before, the same info or
Nothing. Like I couldn't even find what news they were talking about. There were no links, no articles. It was just almost a blank page. It had a spot where
jeez.
the news was supposed to be, but nothing ever like would show up there.
Oh wow.
So
Damn.
the government needs to get their IT together because it's terrible. I had clicked on doing the real estate stuff when I was looking at it last week. Like half the links I clicked on were dead links that they just went to like the 404 not found page. And I'm like,
Right.
why is this still on the PA state website?
Yeah, you would think
sense.
after a year after dealing with this, like somebody would have been back to update that web page.
Just any of them. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
that's crazy.
yeah. But how's your week been, man?
Pretty good. I found out the other day that Wawa now has French fries and burgers on their menu. Now,
Wait,
I don't know.
I was at Wawa today and did not see that. I'm curious now.
That was going to be my very next point was there is a chance that the store that's near us is like a test store, right? So
Ah,
like they get product first, they get the equipment first, try it
gotcha.
out, see how well it sells, and then, whatever. So we had French fries at Wawa
Interesting.
and
How were they?
they were okay. I wish they were crispier, but
It's
I
fair.
mean, it could be like almost black, and I'd be like, it still could be crispier, right? So like whatever it was fine. They tasted great though, but I was making jokes to Sarah where I like the premise was that must have been the main complaint that Wawa got, if the only complaint that Wawa ever got. Like you would just see on their page just comment after comment after comment, like, "Oh, your bathrooms are immaculately clean and your staff is so friendly, but where the fuck are the French fries?" Or
True.
I love your sandwiches. The gas is so cheap. Thank you so much. But where the fuck are the French fries? Right.
Yeah.
And just had like accolade after accolade after accolade. But like every customer is saying, where the fuck are the fries? Right. We were like the only ones in there. I was like, kind of punching it up a little bit. And one of the dudes behind the register, he like walks over and he's like, "Hey, you're talking about the fries so much. Like, did you order them?" And I was like, "Yeah, we got 2 orders." And he's like, "Yeah, good shit." He's like, "They taste great." I was like, "Hell yeah!" But it was so funny. We were so excited when we saw it like pop up on the screen. We were like, "Oh no!" And we were like,
Well,
"Get them quick before they run out."
that's
It was
awesome. I've
funny.
only had one moment like that with like food. I was driving. It was when I lived in Virginia. I was driving through Maryland back up here to visit, and I stopped at a Burger King, which normally I don't do because Arby's
Right.
is usually
There you go.
my go-to travel food, and
They have the meats.
they do. And I know a lot of people think Arby's is disgusting, but it's my favorite.
Hey,
So
to be fair, it's all gross. No matter what you're getting, it's all gross.
true.
Wherever it's at, it's pretty bad for you.
But this Burger King had mozzarella sticks. And mozzarella sticks are
Ooh,
like my favorite like fried
right.
food ever. Like I'll get that any place that I see them on a menu, like I'm ordering it like
Nice.
mozzarella sticks. And so I saw them and I'm like, apparently it was a test, and so I got them, and then they were actually really solid mozzarella sticks. But then they never actually came out with them at any other place.
Darn.
So like I went other
No.
places and was like I had tried to ask for the mozzarella sticks. So like, yeah, we don't have those. I was like,
Damn.
come on, killing me.
Right. Can you
Um,
imagine like I wonder if regions of Burger Kings feel clicky with other regions where they're like, man, those Northwesterners always get the fried stuff. We have to try the salads and junk down here.
yeah,
Like is it like different types of foods for different markets?
it has to be, I think, because even there was an Arby's down in Virginia when
Yeah.
I was driving down to South Carolina for vacation. I was driving through and we stopped and they were selling like zucchini bread and shit like that. And I'm like, okay. Like they had
Right.
some, it was like a partnership with a local company or something like that. And they were selling it like straight out of the Arby's. I was like, this is weird. This is not
Hmm.
corporate as like I would expect.
Right.
But
That's
I
pretty
think they also
cool.
had some like chicken stuff that like chicken sandwiches and stuff that I didn't usually see at Arby's.
Right.
So
Well,
yeah,
that's
so I
kind of
think it
neat.
might be a regional-ish thing.
That reminds me of the opening to Pulp Fiction
Mm.
where um what's his name? John Travolta's character is talking about like the Royale with cheese.
Oh yeah.
Dude, like that's so funny. He's like, "Oh man, so good." I'm not even going to try and do a John Travolta, but yeah, it's just good stuff. Great movie
Definitely.
making.
Absolutely. That's a phenomenal movie. It's a fun
Agreed.
one.
But yeah, man, we got a pretty good show in store this evening. What do you think? What's first on the docket?
Um I was thinking we could start out with LCS and how that went. So,
Okay.
um
Well, first impressions, how do you think it went?
I mean, it was not as close as I expected it to be. Like this early in the season, I think with a lot of
Right.
teams changing things up, I think I expected um, these teams to have a little bit in the semifinals here to have a little bit closer, or no, sorry, quarterfinals.
I was gonna say we still have the semis to
Yeah,
go.
to have a little bit closer matchups, but 3-2-0s. The TSM Cloud9 series was like kind of what I expected across the board. Um, with it going to 3 games, like both teams looking pretty competitive in certain areas. But yeah, I mean it's a like beginning of the season tournament, so it's just nice to see League of Legends back. So
Right. Yeah, I agree. Overall, I think the Cloud9 TSM game, and I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think I can really comment on the pick and ban too much because I don't understand itemization and the newer champions too much,
Right.
like Rel and Samira, which were a big factor at least in game 2 of the Liquid series.
Right.
So I don't know. So I don't know about all that totally. But what I will say is Liquid looked far above and away better than the team they played, Evil Geniuses, right?
FlyQuest.
FlyQuest. And Cloud9 and TSM look to be kind of on that level. TSM obviously being maybe the weaker of the two.
Slightly. It wasn't a huge gap, I don't think.
No, neither do I. But the Liquid series had a significant discrepancy in, I think, like gameplay. Liquid was just they were just all over them.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that I was curious to see was how Licorice did in a new team, and he kind of got bodied by Alfari. And I know Alfari's really good; he's been hyped up in LEC for a couple years and just been on
Right.
Bottom tier team. So I did have expectations of him to do well, but I didn't expect him to like pretty much body Licorice like he did. So I think that was one of the more surprising parts of that. I didn't expect TL to have. I didn't expect them to lose the series because they did have the more stable lineup and roster going into this season too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the biggest surprise for me from that series. But Team Liquid looked pretty solid overall.
Now the one standout thing that I immediately wanted to bring up, and this is me being like Papa Smithy was made fun of for being a narrative caster where they like talk about the story.
Yeah.
So the Jax pick for someday in game 2, like after Worlds, I would have guessed that champion just wasn't allowed to get through for the top lane, and I didn't know. Right, and I didn't know what happened with the items, with anything else that would make that be a pick that people would like forget about. But again, when they from Champ Select, when they got the Jax, I was like, well, it's probably not going to go so well. Like, and dude, even the Camille played great in the matchup too. She did exactly what she was supposed to do. She brought the ignite. They went in at her early. They had jungler pressure up there. And to be fair, Jax was down. What was it like? I think it was like 35 CS at one point, like in the mid game.
Jackson.
Didn't really. Yeah, it just didn't matter, dude. It just didn't matter at all, and it was so funny to watch. And they even said it. They were like, "Oh, remember Bennett Worlds on it, blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Yes, I vividly remember Bennett Worlds." It was like the most. It was impressive Jax play, and to see it on Someday and watch him play the matchup like beautifully. The early turtle, take the pressure. And then just like,
he just knew that as if he got later in the game, got some items, he'd be able to just split and just be able to outduel the Camille if he needed to. And, like that's tough to beat,
dude. And then who was on Lucian? What's their mid laner's name? I'm not 100% up on all the players' names.
That is pretty on Lucian.
Gotcha. Yeah. That was like. That's a funny pick in my mind, especially when that happens, because it's like there is nothing that boy could have done.
Oh yeah.
And it's a pure style pick, right? It's a pure like I'm gonna outplay you 1 versus 1, hopefully get that early kill in lane, and then just like push the advantage.
Right.
Like you're so short ranged. It's okay if there's a significant skill discrepancy between like the 1 versus 1, and watching him just get smacked in the face by that Jack staff. Like there was no amount of dashing or flashy like whatever the fuck that was gonna save his life, and it was
all
pretty
Jax
funny.
has to do is just jump on him. Like
yeah, and it's over.
Just and the jump range I think might be longer than, or if not longer, the same length as the as Lucian's like auto attack range.
Right. So you're not going to be like net positive any distance, even if you're like orb walking well back from him.
You can't even attack like auto without him being able to just jump on you. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, there was just so much that they like. Oh man.
I mean,
they tried to play through the top lane.
I was happy though overall that that Immortals made it into the 8, because I had pretty low expectations of the roster coming into this season, because they do have a lot of like either young talent or like unproven talent, or just players who have been around for a while and haven't really suck out. I mean, they have Joey, who I think was a pretty solid academy support. I mean, Keith McBrief back on the 80 carry. Potluck, who I remember was pretty decent jungling, and then Tapoon and Pretty I don't really know anything about. So like that roster itself, I just didn't have high expectations for, but they weren't the bottom team in their group, so.
Right. Now, what did you think about the new champions being picked in these series? Were you convinced of their strength? How much do you think they'll be contested moving forward?
I mean, I think it's tough to say, because I feel like in the matchups that they were picked in, it didn't really show as much, just because of like I will like to see if they're picked in the semifinal matchups, because like the EG versus Golden Guardians, I mean Ignar played Seraphine, but it wasn't a super close game, so it's hard to tell like the full extent. Jensen played Yone. Tactical played Samira in the Liquid Game 1.
Right.
I don't know. I really want to see how that goes with Pickban in the semifinals, and then I think we'll have a better idea of how good they can be in those like closer matchups.
Okay.
And get a better idea of if they're going to be able to be like really strong in the meta and need to be pick ban, or if they're going to be just kind of like they can fit in here and there, but not necessarily like OP.
Not part of any like 3-pick triangles.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So
the one new champion that I was pretty impressed with was, I guess it's Rel.
Yeah.
The girl on the horse. Dude, she seemed pretty fucking good for team fighting. The lane phase looked pretty strong. And I don't know if that was just like the 2v2, just like player synergy, but there were a couple of knockups that Rel hit that I was like, oh, damn, they're just like, they're all dead now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the knockups were pretty good. So I'm excited to see that. And it goes to the I was always quite fond of the Alistairs, Leonas, Nautiluses of the world. My favorite support to play was Thresh. I love the like get in there supports,
and all of them are like playable right now, which is awesome.
Right, which is sick. So I say that to say I'm interested to see that like tank on tank brutality down in the bottom lane. And like with the jousting thing and on the horse, she gets knocked
Yeah.
off the horse. A lot of flavor there, so I think she'll be a fun champion to see in the future. The playmaking potential, I honestly think is there. There
Her
was
kit
one in that
has a
liquid
lot that you
game.
can like
Well,
do with
that's the
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was that one play in the liquid game where they literally caught the rail out, and it looked exactly like a Thresh hooking a Leona, where the Leona is like, okay, now I'm closer to your AD, and he just like whopped them. Like they caught him out, and then he just motorboated into three of them, knocked them all up, and just swept the fight. It was like, oh, thanks,
Yeah.
you just got me there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that moving forward. The
Definitely.
I was excited to see the TF pick too. That was nice.
Yeah, TF's been pretty strong, and it's those global matchups still. I think
Yeah.
it's just so prevalent in the game right now between like that and the Galio are like super common to see. I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. Um, I think a lot of the mid laners have really kind of adapted well to that style of being able to go around the map. And like Demonte, when he was on the Twisted Fate, it was pretty much on cooldown. He was
Yep.
ulting
Well, that
constantly.
was yeah, that was going to be my point.
Yeah, he looked really comfortable on that, and like comfortable just like making plays and going. I mean
Mm.
game two his game two against Immortals, he was 2-2-15. Like
Yeah, that's just an insane stat line.
it's
Like he's
crazy.
just right there with the team the whole time.
I mean, it was a
I
really
was
high kill game, but still, like that's
yeah.
yeah.
I was watching I was going back like when I was watching the VODs, I was going back and watching like team fights
Mm-hmm.
and tracking his card selection, and he
Okay.
was right there every time. And what I thought was very impressive was his use of red cards,
Mm.
where he there were like specifically two situations I believe where a gold card would have been fine,
Mm-hmm.
but they were grouped up in a way that he clicked past the stun card for the red card to lay down the slow and get the AoE damage,
Yeah.
and I think it helped like propel them forward in the fight. And so I guess I say that to say I was quite impressed with his just like patience on that like second activation of the
Mm.
ability, where he really waited for like what card do I want. And both times I actually think the red card was the better choice over the gold card.
Yeah. No
So
blue
yeah,
card salutes.
I don't think I saw any blue card
I don't
salutes.
think I did either.
Nobody got away from, got hit with a bunch of damage, but they didn't get locked. But yeah, so the TF was really impressive. I thought his play was pretty good. Now looking ahead into the semifinals, who do you like? Who do you like for the first series? Who do you like for the second series?
Um, I think I'm going to lean Cloud9 slightly.
Gotcha.
Just because I think my biggest concern is the Someday versus Fudge matchup there. And I think Fudge performed pretty well in the series with TSM. He didn't look phenomenal, but he held his like he didn't look he wasn't a stud like Someday looked in his matchups, but he held his own fine. So
Right.
I think the rest of the map, Cloud9 has a little bit of a favored matchup. The EG Liquid one, I'm kind of leaning towards EG actually. Um, they had looked really solid throughout the play-ins and everything, or the round robin for this and everything. Um, so I was pretty impressed with that. They just had the 3-1 record. I mean, same as Team Liquid, but
Right.
yeah, I think overall they have a really solid lineup, and Jizuke actually looked better than I expected him to, because he had some issues I think last year where they were swapping him out and things like that. So he looked pretty good. Um, so yeah, I think slight lean to EG on that one, but I wouldn't be shocked if
Interesting.
Liquid wins, but I feel as though EG is gonna squeak that one out. So,
Now, are they gonna be? Are they best of fives?
yes, they are best of five.
Ah, the semis and the finals then.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think Cloud Nine maybe like 3-1, 3-2, and then
Okay.
EG probably 3-2. Yeah, I think they're both going to be pretty close. Um, what are your thoughts? Do you have any expectations going into it?
I'm looking over the rosters and thinking about what happened in the quarters. I think I think you're right pointing out the Fudge matchup between Fudge and Someday in the top lane. Um but I think I'm gonna lean the other way and say Team Liquid can take the series on the
Okay.
flip side. But I think I will agree with the Cloud9. 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves look good, but yeah, what you said about the Someday Fudge matchup will probably be true, but hopefully Cloud9 will be able to shore that up.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I really like the way Liquid was playing. They seemed pretty cohesive as a unit in that series.
Yeah. Well, and
Um
I kind of expect them to. I think EG might be able to just win in a couple of the matchups. Um, but I mean, we'll
how
get
good
to
is
see.
Impact anymore?
He's like solid. He likes
Okay.
these bruiser champions.
Right. Yeah,
That
see,
like
like he likes Renekton.
yeah, and
I
I
don't
mean
like Impact.
I know Impact's been like a tank player for a while, but he does
Right.
well. He doesn't do well on like the assassin stuff as much, or like the split pushing. But the team fight bruisers like Renekton and Gragas, which is what he played, like I think are super good picks for him, and the way he wants to play. So I think, yeah, I think he'll look fine in that matchup with Alfari. So
Okay. Speaking of assassins, that reminds me of a point that I wanted to make about Liquid was Jensen in their matchup.
mm,
Him and the matchup with Palafox.
yeah,
Dude, um there were a couple moments during that series watching Palafox go in on Jensen where I was kind of confused as to what I was seeing. Like in the sense of I just thought Akali did so much more. And the way Jensen was just like juking and moving, man, he totally put Palafax kind of in the can.
he's got the fancy feet. He has for a while. I remember that's always been one of those big things where they're like, "Oh, Jensen's dodging skill shots. He's got the blue suede shoes," and like all
Right.
those like funny one-liners. But he really does have a pretty solid solid movement when he's playing, and so I think the Akali with even though she's an assassin having so many skill shot based things, I think he's able to kind of dip around that a little easier than say like a Zed maybe where you're
Right.
just like on top of the person with your ult.
Right. If you're close, they're dead kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, that was I thought that was a pretty funny matchup. But yeah, I think you're right. He does have like what would you call that? Like when they're in the pocket of like a little trade, right? And
Yeah.
you're there's like that escalating mind game of leading. I know he's gonna lead. and just like
Just the
that
back and
all
forth, yeah.
right. Like when he's in the pocket, it looks like he was never gonna get hit, like ever.
Oh yeah.
There were probably 2 or 3 times that he should have been dead just straight up in the 1v1, but like good all placement, good ball movement, like waiting on until he saw the Akali, not just like throwing blind into the smoke. There was all sorts of just like little things that these players were doing that were like, oh, whoa. Just like seeing their counterparts like not playing in that way, you're just like, oh,
Yeah. Well,
you know.
I know you enjoy the Oriana gameplay.
Well, dude,
So
it's sick. Yeah, she's one of the best champs.
yeah, and she's like with all these control mages mid, like the Twisted Fates and things like that. She's super. It's
Yeah,
perfect metaphor. So I mean,
and
it's always
safe
perfect
safe into the
metaphor.
assassins. You
So
know.
yeah, I feel like there's never a non Oriana meta.
Where at least she like
She's always
she was
viable.
never yeah, that's probably the better word. I was gonna say she was never unplayable.
Yeah.
Just
So
maybe you know, some other stronger picks like I know the Syndra at times would have been better, the Ari at times would have been better, but you could pick it into them and still be fine.
right,
You know, and that was
exactly.
always a benefit of it. Always a safe blind pick, as they say in the pick and ban.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I thought overall, just instead of talking about just random champions, overall, I thought the quarters were fun to watch. Some of the skill discrepancies and strategy discrepancies were kind of funny. It was like, oh man, you can tell it's like right at the beginning of a season.
Right.
But yeah, it
Yeah, I
was good
think
stuff.
I agree. It was definitely fun to watch. It'll be fun to see. I like best of five so much better than best of threes.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to get to see those matchups and see how they go. Maybe someone will come out and surprise me and just shit stomp the other team, but I don't expect that to happen. But I guess we'll see.
yeah. It doesn't seem like a 3-0ing tournament. You know.
Yeah, I don't
Seems
think
more
so.
like 3-1s and 3-2s.
I would definitely agree.
But yeah, when they're coming up this weekend, right? The two
Yep.
semifinal games.
So
Nice.
Friday, well, and the finals. So we've got,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, we've got some good LCS this weekend. It's gonna be uh, Friday night at 6 is the 100 Thieves Cloud9 series. Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time is the EG Team Liquid. And then Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern will be the finals of this little
Gotcha.
tournament. So,
Very cool.
yeah. So only one day to prepare for the finals. But see how it goes.
That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. I think it's because it is this like start of the season tournament. They're not
Right.
as concerned, I guess, about giving like a big break. And plus, like, you don't want to have that like have a big break for all the other teams. The teams that didn't make it into this start of the season tournament or like bracket are already missing out on 2 weeks of stage games. So
Right.
I think if you drag that out even further, then it's just detrimental to the other teams a bit more.
Right. You're actually like putting them behind.
Yeah, it's not like end of season or whatever where you can kind of drag it out because the teams that are done are just going to be on a break. Like these teams still have to go right back into it into the regular
Right.
season. So,
Hmm. Now, did I hear them talking about some kind of like buy into the regular season with your placement?
I don't remember specifically.
Okay.
I'd have to look into what the full regular season plan is.
Right. No, I got you. No, that's fine. I just thought I remembered them saying something like, is this technically the second week of the season? Or is this like a tournament and then after this weekend it'll be week 1, or is this week
So
2?
this, I think, after this is going to be week 1. So this is like the
Gotcha.
lock-in tournament, is what they're calling it. Um, and so, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to go into like the uh, first week of the regular season. Then after this,
Gotcha.
so
This isn't like a prologue.
no,
Okay.
so
Fair enough.
but yeah, so I guess we'll get to see. Um,
Did you watch any of the T1 games?
I did not.
Ooh,
What's
it's
going
good
on?
stuff, dude.
Are they looking good?
I mean, I think they're fun to watch.
Is,
T1's always a
is
fun team
Faker
to
playing?
watch. He was in the game that I saw.
I was wondering because I know he had been benched at some point and people were up in arms, and LS
Well,
actually I think is helping out with the team in some capacity.
oh,
So I think that ended up. I didn't see anything else from that whole thing because LS pretty much completely removed himself off social media or like wasn't active for a while.
right. Well,
Um,
that's good.
yeah, no, I think it helped him figure things out. Uh, but yeah, I saw that he is like I think helping as an analyst or something for T1.
Gotcha.
So
Just
you're
talking
homie.
about, yeah, just talking about free bases and
Freezing
why'd you buy?
lanes and
Yeah, why'd you buy that item, dude?
yeah, don't buy Morello Nomicon.
God, such a trash item.
So I guess we can get into the next big segment, our F1 segment. So
Ooh, ooh.
it's gonna be spicy, ladies and gentlemen.
I Go
Go
ahead.
for
I'm
it.
sorry.
I
I
was
was about
gonna
to cut you off.
I was just gonna start saying that everyone and their mother is starting to put out their predictions about how different people will do in their new lineups, and we're gonna do the same, but with our own spin. So
Because we have no historical context really to base our predictions off of, we're going to use the running tall and short of it metric for how good these drivers are. We're going to rate the hair. Did the
yep.
hair get better? Did it get worse? Did it
Ov-
get faster? Did it get slower?
Overall team hair. So
Overall team hair rankings. So what do we got? We got 10 slots to fill.
yep.
Do we go the worst to best or best to worst?
So I was gonna go worst to best and
Worst to
start it off.
best.
So
Okay.
this will be in order of constructor, uh, the constructor lineups or
Gotcha.
finishing. So Williams did not change. So it's still Russell and Latifi. So no improvement in hair speed from them unless some crazy haircuts come out. But otherwise, no change.
No change in the hair.
Then we've got Grosjean and Magnussen for Haas, who are out, and Mazepin and Schumacher in. So, I mean,
I think Magnussen and Schumacher equal out.
I would agree, and
Yeah.
I think Grosjean had better hair than Mazepin does. So, personally, I think Haas actually downgraded on their hair speed.
I would concur.
So,
Mazepin has like that young man comb over.
yeah, like I've got going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Not very fast.
Exactly.
I'm getting
I got some
like
slow hair.
wheelchair and walker vibes from that hair.
Slow vibes over here.
Slow vibes. Yeah. All right. So they downgraded for sure.
Then we've got Alfa Romeo, who also did not change. So they still got Kimi and Antonio Giovinazzi. So no change.
Yeah, no change. They're pretty basic hairstyles. Not too fast, not too slow.
Yeah.
You know, you can
Oh,
tell the helmet hair doesn't mess with them too much.
do we think that Haas's slower hair will drop them below Russell and Latifi?
Ooh, that's a good
Do we
question.
think Williams is going to improve their constructor standings in
Hot
terms of
take
hair?
for you. I think I think Williams is going to have a good testing season. I think they're going to bring a pretty good car this season, meaning that Russell's going to be able to place better. They're in having faster hair.
Okay, I
I think
like
they're
it.
going to I think they're going to be racing better than AR racing.
All right, I like it.
Okay.
Um, so then we've got AlphaTauri. So it went from Gasly and Kvyat to Gasly and Sonoda. So Danny, that's his hair's pretty plain.
Yeah,
I think the Sonoda hair is definitely an upgrade.
I concur. Yeah, I like Yuki's hair. Like jet black, feels very like um like sad boy, but like kind of in a good way.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a little flow going on. He's
Flow is a good word to use. Yeah,
yeah,
and Daniel, he doesn't have any flow.
he doesn't. So okay,
Yeah,
so some
upgrade.
upgrades on the AlphaTauri. So now we've got Ferrari. So they're going from Leclerc and Seb to Leclerc and Sainz. And personally, I think it's a big upgrade in hair because Sainz definitely has some solid flow, or like not flow as much as like Sonoda, but he's got a good head of hair on him.
Right. I feel like I could go rock climbing and set my anchor in his hair and it would
It
hold.
would be solid. Yeah,
Yeah, you just got like these thick locks, right?
definitely.
So definite upgrade in hair. Yeah, Seb's got that just like sweat patch on his head, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's okay hair.
It's okay. So
um,
yeah, I definitely think it's an upgrade. And
okay.
look at Charles. Look at Charles Leclerc.
He's
Hit
got the bed head. He's got the
right,
yeah.
right.
He's got the pretty boy bedhead hair.
Which is frustratingly hard to achieve,
Yeah,
right? Like he just looks beautiful when he takes the helmet off. But if I wanted to look like that, it would be fucking $100 a product every day, just like sculpting, and
yeah,
I'd be on Instagram like I woke up like this, you know.
exactly.
But that's actually him. So yeah, great hair on Ferrari now.
Yep. And going up to Alpine, we've got Ocon and Ricardo going to Ocon and Alonso. I think it's a tiny upgrade with Alonso because Danny Ricks also has the messy hair, but it's not as good as Charles. Like it's not quite there. He does have the nice beard though to make up for it. The
See,
facial
that's
hair.
true. Yeah, that's
So
true. He's got a very his 5 o'clock shadow is there around noon. He's got that kind of,
yeah,
you
definitely.
know.
But I think Fernando's hair is like a tiny upgrade. Maybe even
Well,
just
he's got
stays
the
the same.
locks. He's got the like, he tucks it back,
Yeah. So I think slight upgrade with Fernando.
Okay. All right. I'm
What
going
are
to
your thoughts?
say if you say slight, I'm going to say medium.
Okay.
Right? So just like one tick above slight.
Okay. We'll go
Yeah.
with medium upgrade instead of just straight up upgrade.
There you go.
Um, then we've got Aston Martin. They're going from Stroll and Perez to Stroll and Seb. So
Hmm.
Stroll's got some hair on him,
He
but
has hair for sure.
he's
Is
got
it fast hair though?
it's big hair.
It's
He's got a
big
lot of it.
hair. Right.
Um, but I guess we're looking more between I guess Seb and Checo.
Checo has dog. I was gonna say Checo has dog hair. That's what he has. He's got dog hair. No, he has dad hair.
He
is like
does
how I see that. It's not
very dad
not
hair.
not
Yeah.
very anything, you know. Doesn't
Yeah.
and has never thought about it on his head. It's just there.
It's pretty neutral for me.
Right.
I don't think there's any upgrade or downgrade necessarily. I think
Heck,
both of their hair, it's just like it's hair. It's hair.
it's hair. It's not fast, not slow.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I might even rate it slow hair. Like if we're calling it dad hair, I'd say dad hair
ooh,
is pretty slow.
that's a good point.
Yeah, slow hair.
So okay,
It's got a case of the slow hair.
so I guess a slight downgrade.
Okay.
Slightly slower hair because or no, a slight upgrade. Sorry. Because they got rid of the dad hair.
Exactly.
Yes. So, slight upgrade. They've got McLaren, so Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz to Lando and Danny Ricks. So, I mean, I think it's a slight downgrade. Like we said, Sainz has a lot. He's got those thick locks.
I'm with you. That's a slight downgrade. I think you're right.
Not big
Sainz
time,
has. I mean, Sainz has hair you could trust your life with.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It
If he's in an action movie, he's not offering his hand. He's offering his hair. Grab onto this. And then you
someone's
fucking,
like falling off a cliff and they're just reaching.
Yeah, dude. Do you remember funny movie? Grab my good arm. Just grab my good arm.
Wait, which move? I don't know.
Oh, dude. What were the movies that were like? Oh, fuck. It's not another teen movie. Not American Pie.
Oh, it's
funny.
Scary Movie.
Scary Movie, yes,
Yeah,
thank
okay.
you. I'm pretty sure it was 1 or 2 with the butler, and he had the like the arm that was up here. The lady's like falling out, or the dude's falling out of the window, and he's like, "Grab my good arm," and it's got no strength at all. Why are you offering that? It's so funny, dude. It's so funny. Anyway,
every time though I'm comparing with Danny Ricks, it's tough because the facial hair, like he's got the strongest facial hair on the grid.
Yeah, easily.
Like by a long shot. Grosjean's
like Alexander Albon has never had it ever.
No.
And you were gonna say Grosjean.
Grosjean's like the closest probably.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, but like Danny Ricks is like clean.
Yeah, Daniel's beard, it's like Latin lover, very lustful. I can see myself just like morning cappuccino, you know, like in his Hawaiian shirt. Like that's what his beard and facial hair vibe gives me. Grosjean is just kind of like,
he's like, I can grow a beard.
right. Honestly, in the F1 picture that Grosjean has, it seems like a business decision for him to have grown that beard.
It kind of does.
That's the kind of like shape that is very like, yes, this is an advantage for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. It does look very businessy, which is hilarious.
Like it has its own cell phone and conducts its own Zoom meetings. Is how business-like his facial hair is.
Hey man, that's some good hair then. Good facial hair.
That's good hair. It's not. It could be fast. It's probably fast as hell. Then, time is money.
Time is money.
God damn. The most business-savvy hair in the game, Romain Grosjean's beard.
Yep.
Dude, that should be our Twitter handle. Romain Grosjean's beard. All of the things that his beard says, and then just become this like weird, just some, like esoteric, like finance guy, right?
Oh, just like constantly F1 like finance. Tweeting about like it's still all about F1, but it's like salaries and like the different financial. So like, oh well. Alpine spent this much on their aero upgrade. Christian Horner just signed a new extension to his contract. Breaking news.
Oh, dude, that's so funny. Oh man, like just nothing related to drivers or driving or anything.
No, just solely
Dude.
about all the financial decisions made in
Oh, just
by the
like
F1
taking
teams.
people's dog like Instagram and Twitter idea just to the next level. My
Yeah,
facial hair has social media.
phenomenal.
Holy shit, that's so
I
funny.
like that idea.
Oh man. All
But
right, who's next?
we've got Red Bull, so we're going from Max and Alex Albon to Max and Checo. So we're going from like a fade to dad hair. I think it's a slight downgrade in terms of hair.
Yeah, I would say downgrade. I
Yeah,
like Max's hair.
Max
Very
has
neat.
he's got fast hair,
He's got fast hair.
just straight up.
See, and you can tell he's fucked with the part two before where they've like shaved in that like
The line,
line.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's honestly like looking at this photo that Max has here, he looks like somebody that used to break people's knees for a living. His face is so fucking serious that I can see him like picture like a camera inside of a door, right? And the scene is like the door just opening and you see Max standing there with just like leaning on a baseball bat,
I'm,
right? With that face.
I was
And
thinking
you
more of
know,
like the someone's like coming up an elevator and the elevator doors open and Max is just there with that look on his face and
that's
it's
even
like,
better.
oh no.
Dude, you know you're about to have a bad day. Like
Yeah.
he's there for you, son. He's
Yep.
there for you. You didn't pay. Oh
Exactly.
man, that's so funny. Yeah, he looks like he used to fuck some people up. And the way his hair is like I am I am I am so I am so brutal and heartless that I take flawless care of my body. He's like so hygienic because he's such a badass.
Yeah.
I don't
He's just
know.
like on top of like all of it.
Right.
He's like,
Right.
yes, this.
Like isn't that kind of like do you know the main character in the Hitman games like bald head with the
Yeah.
with I think part of what makes that image so whatever is he's so clean cut,
Mm,
right? He's not
gotcha.
grungy, he's not dirty, he's not
He's precise. He's precise. So
right.
like
Yo, yes.
you know that you're gonna get like the job's gonna get done right when you see
Yes.
that.
That's what Max's hair says to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he knows
I
exactly
agree.
what bones he's breaking, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Straight for the
brutal.
kneecaps.
Brutal, man. That's
And-
funny.
well, and then up top we've got Mercedes just keeping the same driver lineup supposedly because Lewis, I don't believe, still hasn't signed a contract. So
He didn't want to sign any contracts while Toto had COVID. He wanted to give him time to rest.
I guess, but yeah, he's still holding out. He wants.
And even honestly, I'm not even sure as a constructor Mercedes has the fastest hair. Like Valtteri's hair is probably the worst on the grid.
It's down.
So,
Yeah.
so not that they downgraded because they didn't change, but I feel like they start pretty low in the rankings. Like, yeah, Lewis Hamilton might have the fastest hair on the grid, but Valtteri has definitely the slowest hair. So that discrepancy is like it's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's drawing the average way down. Let's say
Definitely. So like if we
right.
did an overall just hair rankings as opposed to like upgrades or downgrades for the teams, then Mercedes is probably kind of middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack, yeah.
So
Crazy.
I would say that Giovinazzi's hair is not phenomenal either, but it just fits his aesthetic very well.
Yeah, like
He just looks
after
super Italian, which he is. So like it's just the look fits.
the look is very. He gets out of his F1 car, ties on his apron, and walks in the back door of his dad's pizza shop, and he's just like immediately covered in flour.
Yep.
Like, hey, Papa, where's the fucking salsa?
Yeah. I definitely could see him being like a back of like a line cook in a restaurant.
Right, or like tossing pizza up. Like,
oh yeah.
hey, well, I fucking Italian accent, whatever. I don't know, but yeah.
But yeah, I think he's his hair is down, but it just fits the way he looks. So yeah, Valtteri definitely has the worst hair on the grid.
The worst.
There's not really a close second. I think I was kind of reaching on the Giovinazzi part. Like, yeah.
I kind of like, well, and we'll go back to the Williams now. I'm just looking at the grid. Jack Aiken, he's got pretty fast hair. He's got like action movie hero, like that's like Tom Cruise's hair.
It's right? Like young action hero hair.
Right. Yeah. I like that. Young action hero. Like he's got some kind, like he looks like he has some kind of superpower.
Yeah, like he's like one of the what are they? The X-Men
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans or what are the young X-Men? Like X-Men I forget what
Ned's Declassified.
X-Men Survival Guide.
Yeah. The teen men.
Generation I don't know. It's
Generation X.
Generation Next is what.
That's seeing. Sick with like a big X. I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because they're the other stuff I'm seeing is they're just called the Young X-Men. Not really.
That's not a very
yeah.
I don't know if Darkseid's going to be scared of the young X-Men.
Exactly.
You know, Teen Titans, that's like kind of sick.
Oh, I'm thinking of like Professor Xavier's School for the Gifted. Like that's what I'm thinking of. Like when they first like find them and they're all
the
like,
younglings.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like Jack Atkin could play one of those guys.
Dude, I'm getting do you remember like Ice Boy? Ice Boy, you could like that's what he looks like. That looks like Ice Boy haircut.
Yeah, I think he could definitely fit in with an action movie for sure. And being a professional racing driver, I think it kind of fits. I feel like the thrill of that is probably it would be a fitting spot for him.
Dude, what are you kidding me? Filming and being in a movie alongside Tom Cruise would be so much more adrenaline than an F1 car.
That's true, because Tom Cruise like does not fake anything.
He doesn't fuck around.
That man learned to like fly helicopters and stuff like that just for Mission Impossible. Like
yeah, he's pretty insane. But I mean, like
well, he's a Scientologist, so no offense to any Scientologists out there.
What are you supposed to do though? Like to be the best at something where you're competing with the likes of. Well, that's interesting. Now I have to come up with like a list. Okay, when you're competing with the likes of like Jack Nicholson, Morgan Freeman, Samuel L. Jackson, Daniel Day-Lewis, dudes like fuck it, Bruce Willis, I think is pretty solid. Like just all of these other great actors getting great roles, doing great movies for great directors.
The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Like Jason Statham. Now we're just like naming the cast of Fast and Furious movies. But yo, like
Vin Diesel.
Tyrese?
Oh, jeez.
But you get what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like how else do you set yourself apart from
He
dudes like
he
that?
definitely sets himself apart, but like
Yeah.
he's also nuts. Like I saw, well, I mean, yeah, but there was something that came up recently with a movie he's filming, and it was like someone recorded the sound of him like on set, and he
Oh
was
yeah,
just
yelling
like
about like COVID.
screaming about COVID. I was like,
Yeah. Well, dude, can you imagine though? Like he could have brought that whole production down.
oh, absolutely.
You know, like Tom Cruise is just trying to make a movie.
Yeah, but he's like, I don't give a fuck about COVID. He's like, I just screaming about how they need to keep keep the cameras going.
Right.
It's like, yo, man, just bring it down a little bit. Bring it in.
All right, good point. Good point. I
Like
always remember
you
him.
can get your point across much easier, especially when you have the clout that he has.
Yeah, right. Isn't just like a nice even tone. It does not just do so much better.
I would think so personally. I think
Right.
screaming about it is a bit much.
Well, you have significant management experience. I mean, I imagine that's how you would handle things. You just jump down their throat and kill them with volume, right?
Exactly. That's my favorite way to talk to any of my clients that are giving me a hard time. I mean, granted, there were definitely times where I wanted to do that. Oh, I can think of some specific times where afterwards I had to just like go to like the back office and just kind of like scream a little bit. Not actually scream, but just like be like, this stupid motherfucker. Just all the swearing.
Dude.
But yeah, like I think when you have that kind of clout, you're like, hey, this is my movie. Like it's not. No one else on that set could say that it's their movie except maybe the director and producer. He could be like, this is my movie. This is what's happening. And just like people would listen. He doesn't need to be like screaming and carrying on.
No, that's true. That's true.
But
Tom Cruise is the kind of guy to say like this is my world and you're just living in it. Like that's like he's the type of dude
he
to
is.
say
He
that.
100% would be.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's our take on Jack Aiken and if he could be in an action movie.
I think we've determined that yes, he could be.
Yes, he could. Okay, confirmed. Jack Aiken for Mission Impossible 8 confirmed. You heard it here first.
Exactly. He'll
There
be
you
out
go.
there with.
And then, were you saying Fittipaldi has pretty big hair?
He's got good hair.
It's big hair. I don't know if it's fast hair.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's super fast, but it's not slow hair. I'd say it's just pretty solid hair.
I agree. Damn, I'm just looking at the standings here with their photos.
Yeah,
Kevin
me too.
Madison, 1 point.
Well, I also always forget that Magnuson has a beard because it's so blonde. It's almost like hard to see. But he's got.
Dude, it just makes his chin look like Thanos.
A little bit.
That's so funny.
But I know we had a couple of other topics that we wanted to hit. Which one do you want to hit first?
Oh, let's
I guess while we're
let's
on
stay on the
racing.
theme of motorsport. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Extreme E, which by the way, this is a little behind the scenes for the fans. It literally took me all day to get that Justin Timberlake thing because I was like, whoa, Justin Timberlake had like a racing league, but I didn't have time to like Google or look it up, so I just had to. Wow, that's interesting. And then, like 10 hours later, I read the text. I was like,
So
Oh
so for
shit.
for everyone, Justin was texting me earlier about Extreme E and said he wanted to talk about it. I don't know anything about it, so I wanted to kind of have some fresh takes as we go into it. But he called it XE in the in the text. I was like, oh, they're bringing XE back, like Justin Timberlake bringing sexy back. And
So good.
that's awesome that it took you all day for it to like click. I love when
Dude,
that stuff happens.
I felt so dumb. I was like, yeah, all
Oh,
right,
that stuff
that's pretty
happens to me all
good.
the time. So I'm glad that other people it takes them sometimes to get my
Fuck.
terrible, terrible jokes.
No, it was a
Well,
good
yeah,
joke. It was so
you have to like you have to say it out loud for it to like
right,
click.
exactly.
If
Exactly.
you're
I
just
just like
reading it,
read the
it's
letters.
yeah.
Yeah. Didn't get it. But yeah, so Extreme E, and now the reason it came to my attention, because obviously I'm not the biggest like motorsport fan, but it came to my attention because Lewis is fielding a team, our boy Lewis Hamilton,
Oh, interesting.
and former F1 racer Jensen Button is fielding a team.
Okay.
Previously, it was announced that a driver in one of the female leagues that races is, I don't know if it's like multiple female drivers are going to have teams, or if it's one female driver fielding a team of other female drivers. I'm not sure what's going on,
Gotcha.
but what I thought was interesting, what it's is that it's going to be um like multi-gendered,
That's
that both
cool.
are racing. The cars look fucking sick. So apparently they're battery electric, um like SUV looking things, like these like
Oh,
rally looking SUV, very very like streamlined and sleek.
they look like beefed up the like Porsche SUVs,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
beefy, like
Dude,
real beefy.
when me and Sarah first saw the trailer for it, we didn't even think they were real cars. We were like, "Is this like an ad for like something coming in 2030?" Like,
This is crazy looking.
yeah. And apparently, it goes live in like 65 days.
Wow.
Um,
And so
but
so it's full. I'm assuming the E means electric, so they're all electric vehicles.
right, you
Okay.
got it. So, and that brings up a great point. That's the angle that I wanted to talk about it from. So,
Gotcha.
do you remember we were talking about Honda and then pulling out of F1 and the Red Bull deal because of they wanted to be at a certain point in their.
Yeah, like reducing their carbon footprint and like all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. They wanted to be further along, so they pull out. So this Extreme E is kind of an answer to that movement within motorsport. So it's
Gotcha.
going to be like, so you know how F1 is basically just like glorified advertisement for these car companies?
Kind of, yeah.
That's kind of what they're a part of the idea for Extreme E is they want it to
Gotcha.
be an advertisement for a clean carbon footprint,
Gotcha.
right?
Well, and I mean, they do have the Formula E racing as well. So they
Yeah.
do have that. So that is interesting, though. That's kind of cool that they're, especially like that they're showing cars with like a different body type than these like supercars.
Right,
Um,
right. Dude, they look beautiful. So,
they do.
okay, why do they look like that? So that's the extreme part of it. So the idea is it's going to be a globe spanning motorsport where they're like going to different biomes, right? So there'll be like a rainforest race where they're in um like the whatever, the Amazon rainforest.
Mm,
They have a track there and they'll race there. One's going to be in the Arctic, one's going to be in the desert, one's going to be like in like
gotcha.
an Everglade like swampy area. So it's like you get elements of like rally, you get elements of like circuit racing, you get elements
Yeah, all these
like
pictures I was thinking
off-roading.
like rally racing and
Yeah,
everything,
dude,
but
it looks insane. And like
I
the
need
fact
to
that
I need to
you're,
see the trailer for this.
dude, it's so cool.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
But yeah, so I just wanted to like bring that to your attention, talk about it, because honestly, like it gets underway in less than what is that, like 2.5 months or so.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, I
crazy.
think I think it's something to watch. Honestly, I think it's going to be something to pay attention to.
I'll definitely check it out. I'll have to see like where it's going to be broadcast and everything, but I think that would be cool
That's a
to
good
like
point.
actually watch a race and check it out. But if it's global, I would expect it to be pretty um, like well broadcast. I'm sure I can find that out pretty easily, but that's cool. I dig it.
Yeah, it seems very exciting. I forget when me and Sarah got first turned on to it, but it was just an announcement and it was just the cars. And it seemed like something that was like pretty way off in the future. So I didn't really think to say anything,
Yeah,
but it came to my attention with Jensen Button. I was like, oh shit, I know that name. And
yeah,
it's like, oh
definitely.
shit, Lewis has a team and all that. So yeah, it seems pretty cool. And now this is like the other key point I want to talk about with it. Like one things that is very cool about F1 to me is the logistical aspect of it, the literal like globe trotting aspect of it,
Yeah.
where they're picking up all of these moving parts and moving them across the world and plopping them down, racing, and then doing it all over again. Like to me, that's like just impressive overall.
Oh,
And I think it
absolutely.
adds to well, it's very like Olympic in a way where it's all the countries are competing and there's like national prestige in winning at these courses and yada yada
Yeah,
yada.
like having your home
Um
race and like all that stuff.
right,
Yeah.
right. And I think just when you have the means to make it an international thing, you just it you're set up to have all these very cool storylines just inherently in the way that you've built the format, which
Right.
again goes back to us talking about the format fucking matters,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
It adds to the storyline, the intrigue, the legend, right? So it
Yeah.
seems like it's going to be a pretty interesting format. I'm excited to see what the tracks look like. They have a full schedule on the website there. Um, but yeah, I think it's just going to be something to look forward to,
Ooh.
dude.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited to see this. I think is this Nico Rosberg? There's Rosberg Team Racing, so maybe Nico Rosberg is gonna have a team as well.
There you go.
Yeah, I see.
Damn, I wonder how long this has been in the works.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is cool. So they have 5 races right now in 5 different biomes. They've got
Yep.
a desert race in Saudi Arabia, an ocean race in Senegal. So I'm assuming that's going to be like edge of beaches and things like that, like going
Right.
through shallow waters and sand, maybe. Arctic race in Greenland, an Amazon race in Brazil, and a glacier race in Argentina.
Dude, that sounds sick.
Yeah,
That sounds sick.
this is gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Brought
Yo, what do you think it's like to get those permits for
oh my god.
like glacier racing? Like who owns a glacier?
Yeah, they probably have to be working with the governments, and I'm sure. Well, some of these people definitely have connections through like the FIA to like know the right people to talk to and everything. But
Right.
yeah, that's wild.
Well, that was another
Um,
thing. It's FIA endorsed. So
yeah,
it's going to
well,
have like the whole like a whole FIA rule set.
so I'm looking at the Wikipedia. So broadcasts and documentary series. So Host broadcasters will be Aurora Media Worldwide and North One Television. Um, Never heard of either of those,
Neither did
but
I.
I'm looking forward to it. Um, and there's going to be a 3-part TV series produced to document the process of creating a brand new racing series.
Nice.
And
That's cool.
so that actually came out in 2020 in June. This like 3-part docu series.
Does it say what services it's on?
So it was through Channel 4, which is a British public TV network.
Gotcha.
So I wonder if I can go back and track it down. But very cool. I like the idea. I think it's cool to see people doing these races like all over the world and getting to do that. So and in cars that are not your typical racing cars. I think that
Mm-hmm.
adds a whole nother component to it, which will be pretty sweet to see.
Well, and it seems like so you know how we've talked about in F1 the chassis being built for the engine and the engine being built for the chassis
Yeah.
and having a I'm not sure what the proper term is, but like like having a constructor mainline the whole process where
Mm.
like they're responsible for it all. Like it works out better because those systems can be like more integrated, right?
Right. Yeah.
It seems like the cars were built from the ground up with the format and the series itself in mind and like where they were going.
Gotcha.
So like they seem like a totally new thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they only look like things I've seen at like the Yamaha shop, you know? They
Right.
look fucking mean. So yeah, I think the cars were built with the races in mind and the races were built with the cars in mind. And that to me is kind of exciting. I think we're gonna see a real blending of like it's gonna sound weird, but like man, nature, and machine in a way
Okay.
that it seems like these things are gonna fucking tear the ground up.
Yeah, no. The
Like they seem fast.
all the pictures look cool. And rally racing is pretty cool as well. So
Agreed.
I'm intrigued to say the
Six,
least.
65 days, tall and short of it, exclusive coverage for the Extreme E Racing Series. We're not sure what that means, but that's when it's coming.
There we go. We'll
Yeah,
definitely be following it along to see how it turns out. I'm excited.
same. Now, the other thing that I wanted to get into was a little bit of a Magic update this week. A little bit different than what it's been previously. So there are, for Commander specifically, there's color combinations, right?
Okay.
So there's 5 colors of Magic: black, red, blue, white, green.
Yep.
So for color identity in Commander, so let's say you have a green, just green commander, that's the only color on her. You can only have green and colorless cards in your deck.
Gotcha.
If on your commander you have green and blue, your color identity would be green and blue. So you can have green and blue cards or multicolored green blue cards and colorless cards in your deck.
If your commander is one color, can you mix in other colors at all, or is it no? With the format, it's not a thing.
Not a thing.
Gotcha.
So you have to choose the commander based on the colors that you want to use. Sometimes, you know, obviously there's benefits to a 1 color, a 2 color, a 3, a 4 color deck.
Gotcha.
Now, each of them have like we'll say like a flavor identity, right? So each of them has like a name, and the 2 colors the names refer to the names of the guilds on a plane known as Ravnica, which is like like kind of steampunky magic and beasts and like civilian law and like all these kind of ideas all
Okay.
wrapped in one.
Gotcha.
So there's 10 different color combinations. They all have a different name. And then there's 3 color combinations that are named for different clans on another plane. This is
Okay.
your tall and short of it magic lore podcast hour. So those 3 color combos were named for clans on a plane called Tarkir,
Okay.
right? And then there's 4, and then obviously decks that utilize all 5 colors.
I feel like that would be a bit much.
It can be. Most of them end up being just like they call it just like a good stuff pile where you get all of the best elements of the 5 different colors and you just slap them all in a deck and it's probably going to be pretty good because you get the best tutors, meaning the best like search your library options.
Yeah.
They're in black. You get access to them. Green has the best like mana ramping, accelerating your resources. So you have
Gotcha.
access to that. Blue, you get access to the best interaction. So free counter spells
Okay.
are pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
And then in white, you have premier removal, meaning like 1 mana removal spells in Pad to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, Prime. You get access to like Staxy effects, things that tax the board. And then what am I missing? In red, you get access to just like some really wonky effects, but some very powerful effects.
Gotcha.
Anyway, in so the 5 color, you get to benefit from all of them. It does tend to be a lot. Rarely do they have a theme. Now, why am I telling you all this? Because Aaron, me and Sarah have successfully built a deck with all of the color combinations,
Okay.
sans the 4 colors. I don't have those. There are partner commanders, so you have 2 commanders in the command zone, and
Ooh.
those then make up your color identity. So you would have like for example, Thrasios and Timna. So Thrasios gives you access to green blue, Timna gives you access to black white, 2 commanders in the command zone, and then your deck has 98 cards,
Gotcha.
right? 4 colors tend to be like, oh wow, that's a really powerful deck, right? So like a lot of more expensive, higher value cards.
Okay.
So I nixed the 4 colors out. It's okay, so that's not entirely true. So you have the partners or 4 color commanders from one of the commander sets, and they're pretty old. They're expensive cards. So I don't have
Gotcha.
any 4 colors, but we have one of each of the mono colors, one of each of the 10 dual colors, one of each of the 3 colors, a couple of 5 color decks, and I have one 4 color deck, but that we didn't count. So there's like 30 decks that are
Jeez.
all like kind of individual identity, different ideas. They work differently, focus on different strategies and different things. And recently, Sarah had the combination of blue red, which is in Ravnica they call it is it. So it's like spell slinging and like magic and like electricity and that kind of cool stuff.
Okay.
And so once we got that build done, that completed the project of having one deck for all of the color combinations and like some repeat, so I have like more than that.
Yeah.
But
That's
but
cool.
yeah.
I dig
And I've
that.
been I've been working at it like for a long time. Like new cards will come out and I'll just put them in piles. Like there were some decks that didn't come together for a long time, but I was like putting cards away or like, oh yeah, we can move that into this list. Yeah, we'll put that there. Ooh, this land's pretty cool. And like 6 months later, then like, all right, cool. Now we can finish that deck up. Cool, we can
Gotcha.
finish this deck up. and yeah, we finally finished it, and so yeah, I feel pretty good about that. I was in the group chat like, hey guys, when can we play? I'm just trying to play Commander, man.
That's awesome.
I'm
That's
like
pretty cool.
constantly brewing.
That's cool that you have like can have so many different combinations and everything. And I mean, with like the 3-color and 4-color, there's so many different like permutations of the colors that you can have, which is
Right,
so.
right.
And with each having kind of their own play style, that lends itself to some interesting decks.
Well, and what's cool is, and you kind of hit on it there. You can be like flavorful, you can be like high power, you can go like a little bit of both. You can try and tell a story, you can try and be like silly or funny.
Yeah,
There's so many ways that you can go, and all the decks like they range like in different power levels. Um but yeah, it's just fun to like on like some Reddit comments, I see people say like, "Oh yeah, I'm just like a mono red player." I'm like, "Wait, what? You only play one deck?
dude.
You only play one deck?"
That's what I felt like when I played League. I was like, I'm not a jungler or a mid laner or a top. I was like,
Right.
I want to play bot lane and jungle and mid, and I don't
Yes.
want to play the same champion 2 times in a row because that's
Well,
boring.
that's what was
It's
funny.
like there's a
Your
hundred
rank
and
profile
seven.
was
Oh, it was
hilarious.
ridiculous. I like
Dude, so many champs.
I would have to go back and check, but I swear, even this past season where I didn't play quite as much, I still think I had played like 50, 60 champions in ranked. Something like
Jeez, oh
that.
man. And you got to figure some people are just playing one champion 60 times.
Yeah.
But even
It's.
that, I think there's like there's fault in that because then you're like obviously picking into bad matchups and this and that.
Oh, yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, it's just interesting. I think variety is a spice of life, and especially in a game like that, like you said it perfectly. Permutations is a great word. There's so much you can do, and just like I know you were getting at a league, there's so many different flavors of how to play.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
how could you ever be satisfied?
I mean, there's just. It's exciting. Like trying new things. I don't like monotony. So I think having the ability to mix things up, like you said, it's the spice of life, man.
I think that little comment says a lot about you, Aaron. I don't like monotony. That's why you pick the industries that you pick because you knew even if it was something you could get better at, you knew no matter what, it couldn't be the same every day. There were going to be different people, different problems, different this, different
I
that.
think it fits me well. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
I,
Let's put you on the couch, dude. What do you
oh
think about
no!
that?
Don't put me on the couch.
Tell me about your parents and the first time you fell in love. Let's
Oh,
get into that.
let's not get into that. We can avoid that.
Okay.
I mean, the parents part, that's fine. Talk
No,
about my
your
parents.
mom's good people. I don't know your dad at all.
My dad's good people too.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they're both great, both teachers, uh, both very active with what they're involved with. So
That's what's up.
my dad's I don't know if you knew, but my dad is the head cross country coach at Boone now.
Oh,
So
nice. There you
he
go.
was this past year was his first season doing
How'd
it.
they
So
do competitively?
they had a winning record. They were
Oh, there
fine.
you go.
Yeah, they were solid.
Nice.
So I think it's good because he needs something active like that to kind of keep him going. But he and I were talking about it a bit. And he's like, I want to do it for a little bit, but I'm not sure how long term. I don't think he's going to be like a long term like our one coach that we had, who's there for decades.
Dude, it's just like word vomit. I keep wanting to just like say his name, like, oh yeah, that individual.
Yeah.
For you to be like, oh yeah, that guy. But
Yep.
I think that's doxing. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it. So yeah, we're not gonna say that.
No.
But yeah, they were good people. I saw the younger coach recently in life, and it was this really funny thing. Like he looked at me as though he previously believed I was dead. It was kind of like he was like, like he was at my funeral or something. It was really funny.
That
Like,
is.
good to see you, man. He's like, oh, I don't believe in ghosts, and he ran away. It was odd, man. It was really weird.
Was it like Christmas Eve? You were the ghost of Christmas past?
Yeah, I was in my nightie. I had my candle with my cap, and shuffling out of bed, and there he was. There I was, actually, I guess, in that scenario.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's always interesting when you bump into people you haven't seen in a long time. Because
especially when they thought you were dead.
Especially when they thought you were dead. I just look so different from what I did in high school, I think. So I think I catch people off guard. Like, they kind of vaguely recognize me, but can't, like, put all the pieces together.
I still remember you with your curtain of blonde.
Dude,
hair.
I was about to say, I always blow people away when I talk about, I'll be like, oh, I used to have long hair, and people are like, how long? And I'm like, oh, just you wait and see, the Facebook profile is coming out.
Right. Oh shit, that's funny.
That's one of my favorite party tricks.
Damn, the act of the disappearing hair.
It blows people's minds. Yeah, it's still disappearing.
At a rate quicker than the glaciers.
Seriously.
Just receding.
That's funny. That's funny that you bumped into him. But yeah, so my parents are good people.
yeah, definitely. So, that was kind of all I had. I feel like I've been hogging this episode, man.
No, I think we had some pretty good conversation. I don't have really much else to add, but in that case, I guess we can wrap things up.
Yeah, take us out of here. I've done enough talking.
Well, thanks everyone for listening, watching. You can find us on anchor.fm if you're looking to listen to the pod just through your headphones. You can also find us on Spotify, and you can always find us on Twitter at Tall and Short of One. We're looking for anyone who's willing to interact and kind of give us some feedback. Always happy to take that and want to hopefully get the community involved a little bit. And of course, this will be up on YouTube as well. So,
amen, brother.
Yeah, think I hit all the different self promo, but
I think that was all the buttons. Hit the likes, the subscribes.
Beautiful. So with that, guys, we'll take you out. Thanks for listening to the Tall and Short of It podcast, season 2. We'll catch you next time.
Good night, everybody.